for Aurora this time round. If not, they run the risk of just getting trampled.
They got to go a lot better.
Yeah.
Considerably better. Everything but the mid lane, because we've already talked about the mid lane. The mid lane is going to be a sniper victory, most likely.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. No Drake interference,
yeah, fingers
please.
crossed. Yeah. The top lane ain't the easiest, though. Right? Luna's a squishy hero pairing into Lion Timbersaw.
Yeah, Ollie's got
very
this.
scary.
I believe in Ollie. Ollie's got a way of making these work. And honestly, I feel like there have been so many times where I look at an Abaddon in lane, and I'm just like, yeah, I can crush this guy. Then a Photic Shield does the thing where the traits are insane. You're taking damage, he's resisting damage. That's kind of one of the reasons why stuff like the Voodoo Restoration was so insane as well, when they added damage to it, my lord, with the IO.
Oh man, so glad they removed that, dude.
As a Witch Doctor player, I'm just grateful they haven't touched my Paralyzing Cask yet, because that thing still clears creep waves. I can still farm, you know, Ice Frog.
I think it was needed. I think it was needed for the hero, actually, because he is a greedy position 5 for sure.
And he's still not being picked, so Ice Frog, leave my man alone, please.
Well, in pubs, he's picked quite a bit, but in pro scene, he's just not reliable enough.
Yeah, it's kind of like Punch and Sniper, right? It's the age-old situation. They're fun as hell to play. But if you're trying to win a DreamLeague Season 22 qualifier, that's a bit of a different story. Hasn't really stopped our Mel this game. I think, like you mentioned, eyes will be on Drake to see whether they can get anything done. And Jotun and Drake, they're already starting out in a very, very sneaky position. Trying to mess with him. Seems like Q was privy to it, though. Comes in with the Hoodwing Bodyguard mode and doesn't allow for the block to be interfered with. Will just be forced to TP out. And a good block from Amel will get his creeps in pretty decent position, but you know, both these players, they're skilled, they're just gonna start drawing aggro.
It's kind of a crazy read from Q, actually. Like,
I don't know how much of it was a read and how much of it was like post-rune going back to lane kind of situation and happens to be there. But either way, prevents what feels like would have been certain disaster for Amel in the lane.
Yeah, unfortunately, Puck wasn't in the area. Like, maybe if Puck was there, you got to kill. But at that point, it was just some nice early harass.
Yeah. I mean, Yoei's full focus was just on blocking his wave, right? Because he can't afford to be just on that awkward low ground against a sniper. He'll just be right-clicking him at every possible chance. Now, Runes did go 2 for 2, so nothing really crazy going on there. We didn't see any early kills as well. But I kind of feel like these Darling side lanes have high potential for aggression.
Aurora have a little bit of potential in their bottom lane as well as they accumulate more levels, but it's going to be these safe lanes from Darling that, or the side lanes rather from Darling that really turn up the heat. Mid lane should be a little bit of a wash, right? Like we've talked about, and it's going to be up to these side lanes to create that early space in the game.
Yeah, I guess my only concern is that Drake, once you start moving, I'd like to see Ollie and 23 maybe even bring up Q to try punishing Bosku, because I feel like Cuckoo had a completely free game on that Timber last time round. They didn't really at any point in time in the laning stage kill him or dress him or stop him from farming like 4 or 5 ancient stacks. So, I mean, we saw what a problem the Timber can be if he's left alone.
And they don't have the best ways to deal with Timbersaw, right? As he gets more levels and gets that reactive armor. Ooh, mid. Jeez. I mean, that's the name of the game for Armel, right? Like, it's going to be close multiple times.
Yeah. Can you do your best impression of the Sniper Immortal quacking?
Quack.
That was so good. I thought he landed proc, right? Wait,
yeah.
dude, it'll keep me 3 times in a row.
You want another one, dude? You want
no,
two?
I want the Yahweh experience right now. That's what he's dealing with.
Yeah, he is.
Ow!
That's the Yahweh experience. Ow!
Yeah, that's his entire Dota game right now. This guy's literally so stupid. It's one of the funniest immortals added to the game, it's gotta be. It's so unserious, actually.
It's up there with Merry Fistmas for sure.
Yeah, Merry Fistmas is a new recent contender. I really like that one. So, Jotun, once again, getting aggressive. Nice setup from the dual lane, and Jotun looking to go down with that Acorn shot bouncing around. It's more than enough damage. Q and jabs get it done. This is the lethality that we were talking about here in this off lane for Aurora.
This is something that I've noticed Jotun do quite a bit, actually, and that's not respect the creep wave.
How you doing?
It's just the waves.
It's barely a miss.
I mean, he honestly and
Like-
the Lotus and Jabs didn't have any additional mana, so that wouldn't have been anything. But yeah, your point about Jotun?
He just kind of fireflies into the middle of like the new creep wave, and the creeps start wailing on him. You get the spear onto the trees. Not only is the Mars and Hoodwink wailing on you, so is the entire creep wave, and it's just such a weird move to make. This is the second time. Like I saw it last game as well. He did the same exact thing. It's just a little bit too aggressive of a maneuver, I think.
Yeah, I mean, just the immediate sort of time to die now. Maybe Yoe is just summoning him into the mid lane
Yeah,
to get that
maybe.
bottom refill. I gotta assume that's it. He's like, can you just do a little bit of dying real quick? He's like, all right, honey.
Yeah.
Gotta help you in the mid lane again. Feels bad, man. As Amel, he is clobbering this park, but this is really what we expect. Later on in the game, it's gonna get harder for the sniper, but for now, he is the king.
Oh.
Ooh. Oh. Whoa. I mean, you're trying to get a little creative here.
You gotta. You kind of have to.
You might be getting a little dead here, but none of the Aurora heroes in the bot side can actually come and connect, so able to hold on to his life there.
Share
Even a
tango.
Yeah, so this is desperation mode a little bit here, clinging on to whatever resource he can find. Just trying to be annoying and drag the creep wave so that the sniper might lose some EXP. Yeah, I mean, this is the only option. He's just gonna come straight back here. If you stand there, you're gonna die.
I like this move actually, right? This is kind of the necessary movement to make, like you said. Drag him into the tier 2. That's much needed gold and experience going Yoe's way.
And that's become kind of the norm. As soon as you're dealing with a lane you can't really handle in the one-to-one matchup. Shenanigan time! Bring the creep waves for a world tour. Welcome. This is a part of the map you've never seen before. It's actually the Dire Jungle. Yeah, just show them, oh, that's a Satyr Torment. They're like oohing and eyeing and got that tourist
It's like a
hats on and
guided
stuff.
tour.
This
Yeah.
is a special. 1 in like 20 creeps get to see this view. You're a very special guest today.
Wow.
Yeah. You ever see a
One
Satyr
thing-
Mind Stealer before?
No, I haven't personally. I've never seen one in real life, at least.
I'm sorry to tell you that you're not 1 in 20 creeps. Then you're just part of the 19.
I'm just a normal creep. What can you do?
Just a regular creep. Feels bad, man.
Yeah. So, one thing we didn't mention about this top lane that I do just want to... A cheeky little note on here is the mana drain Cuckoo is very, very good in lane. And it's going to continue to be good in the game as well.
Yeah. Just allowing that Timbersaw to keep the fight going. For now, it's Jotun and Drake setting up an Ollie, but nothing that can't be prevented by the Aphotic Shield in this early stage of the game. So fighting around for the 6-minute rune, I believe it was Mel who got the touch on that. Yeah, no, actually managing to bottle that amplified damage rune. Yoe. Nice little refill, and maybe might call in the support and the backup to try for a kill once he hits level 6.
All these supports right now are like kind of
Dude.
poverty mode when it comes to levels.
Yeah, it's a very similar story to last game where so much attention was drawn to the mid that, you know, Ollie and Q, they're just forced to just kind of make patrol rounds. The difference is that this game, it's the same situation for Darleng, right? In the previous game, they were farming away. Jotun, once again, running it in and just finds himself under the tower, gives another freebie over to Jabs. Who'll just say thank you very much.
What are you doing? What was the point of that movement? I don't know, man.
Ooh, Ollie avoiding certain death there. Tried to be a little funny and contest for that wisdom rune, but spots the TP from the puck. It might just be warning 23 now to clear the way. Danger is coming.
Mage Slayer Sniper. I'm not too surprised.
Popping the Dream Coil onto Ollie. He wouldn't mind dying for his carry, but that's only if 23 can get out of here. They'll still commit. There's a lot of damage coming out from this puck, but no additional lockdown. Oh, they gotta be careful.
He wants to cancel the salve. Go, Drick, go.
No, I don't even think it's that. They saw... Yeah, they have a ward back here. And they saw 23 pivot back into this area. They know he doesn't want to lose out on the EXP, but level 6 on Cuckoo. Starting to commit in. Oh, here comes Palos as well. This is gank that we're talking about through the twin gates. You need to bring the full squad to save this poor Luna. Hoof damage gonna come through, but Ollie holding his ground again and saving his cause. They bring in the full squad. 23 stands supreme. They take down Drake.
The supports from Darling are finding themselves under the T1 towers one too many times now.
Yeah, getting a bit too comfortable for sure.
Yeah.
It's a similar situation to last game where Cuckoo top of the net worth, or at least kinda there, you know, neck and neck with Amel and the sniper. But yeah, you still haven't really stopped this Timbersaw.
And what are you going to do to stop the Timbersaw as the game goes forward? Right, that reactive armor is going to be so valuable as he gets more levels into it. Obviously, he's got other priorities right now, and that's dealing damage. But as the game goes on, the reactive armor is going to be very valuable.
Interesting build here from Amel, prioritizing that early Mage Slayer as Ollie narrowly gets out of dodge there. Heads up TP back just to reset. But yeah, a lot more of a stock standard build for this Luna, but yeah, I was wanting to keep my eyes on this sniper. Post Mage Slayer, that's going to increase his resistances quite a bit, but apart from that, what else are you really going to get done here? I guess that's the big question for Amel.
Like item-wise or game-wise? Because
both.
The sniper gameplay is very, very normal, right? You A-click ground and hope for the best.
Sure, sure. Runs into Palos now. I'd love to use this arena, starting to slow out onto that Meepo. Isn't anything that's really going to stop him from just poofing to his other Meepo for now? And now Jotun, once again, he's just clearing this creep wave, being so annoying on this Bat Rider, stopping any sort of push from coming.
That's exactly why Armel made his way into this bottom lane. Oh, spear.
Yeah. Can't really get out of there. You know, his Firefly was already running out. This should be an easy kill for Armel to claim. Actually, the Jabs who gets the last hit.
Jotun once again. He's dying in really good positions. Right, a little bit earlier in the game it was questionable, but that was a decent death. Right, you clear the creep wave, and all of a sudden the push has halted at least for a little bit longer. Right, they are going to be able to pressure that T1 tower nowadays.
Yeah,
but it's wasting time, and that's going to give your puck a little bit more of an opportunity to slowly start getting back into this game.
Yeah, and Sniper can hit towers, but not really at the pace that you want to clear this objective without any trouble. You don't want to spend too much time here as well, because you're basically splitting EXP and farm across two cores. But still will commit for this. They understand how important this tier 1 tower is to take. It doesn't look like Darleng, at least for now, want to mount any sort of defense.
No, instead, actually, Palos, he's posturing around here. He's just finished the Diffusal Blade.
Yeah.
The call to come in might be a little bit too late, though.
Yeah, I was wondering whether Cuckoo was going to make his way through the Twin Gates, because he's finished off his tower on the opposite end of the map, and he has the Veil, which can amplify a lot of the spell damage. But he's just kind of prioritizing just taking that space and occupying the area, maybe making it a bit uncomfortable for 23 to show his face. So, altogether, pretty quiet early game, all things considered. Not quite as much action as we were hoping for from Darleng so far.
Yeah, Darleng, they've missed the mark a little bit, but I still think they have a lot of this early game potential, especially now the puck has gotten some levels. Right, that was the main deterrent, was the puck didn't have a lot of experience to work with. Like, puck is very spell heavy, right? You need to have your abilities on puck to be able to do things. Gold comes second for puck, I think.
Sure. I mean, speaking of the abilities, throwing some out now, trying to come in with the jabs. Palos was still positioned around this area. Looks like they will just settle for Ollie. It's a nice arena and a lot of damage onto this poor little Meepo who just gets melted down. Meanwhile, borrowed time comes up, and there's nothing else to be found here. Aurora, they just answer right back and shove the side of Darleng off their own bot side.
And tower's already gone too, Darleng. They were looking for something a little bit too aggressive. Right, Cuckoo is not willing to rotate just yet, which is a little questionable to me.
We're once again finding a situation where they're focusing down the Abaddon. Sure enough, when they started that fight, he was still level 5, but thanks to that creep wave semi being cleared by the Mars spells, he was able to get that borrowed time and just turn the entire sitch around. I think a big sort of counter, I won't say counter, but a big limiting factor for them was up until this point, Drake didn't have the Finger of Death. Now with this spell, that's where they'll get going. Another smoke up, and Yowei and Drake want to get things going. They'd love to find 23, and they're right on path to spot him out. Easy kill here. Not much to be done. Finger of Death as 23 turns around, actually doing quite a meaningful bit of damage to the Lion, but nowhere near enough.
I was waiting for that Centaur to stomp them too. I was just waiting.
We'll see. As even in lieu of losing their carry here, the side of Aurora feel confident to try and commit for this tower. Beautiful snatch from Jabs. That's the blink reveal. And the additional damage coming out from Q from the sharpshooter. They got 2 snipers this game. And only one of them really has to hit. Continue the pressure.
The low committal like burst damage actually kind of crazy between the assassinate and the sharpshooter.
Yeah. I mean, Yoei can dodge it, but the rest of the heroes won't quite be as lucky. And
yeah, like these squishy supports, yikes.
We're still kind of waiting for Cuckoo to get involved, right? He's just been completely farming up this top side. It's kind of seemed to be his playstyle at this point. And he's, what, like 50 gold away from the Shiva? So that might be the sign for him, or that might be the timing for him to start acting as a defender. Yeah, but for now, he doesn't seem like he has any regard for his own mid power.
I can't imagine you're waiting much longer on Cuckoo other than the Shivas. I can't rationalize waiting any longer.
Yeah. Oh, Palos. Jabs on the hunt, but a little bit too far away is that Meepo. He doesn't know where the rest of the squad of Darling are. All three of them up in that top side. No info. Jabs doesn't want to just give his life away for nothing.
Yeah, unless Q's in the area, and as long as Palos only gets one in the arena, there's no chain stuns if Q isn't in the area. And even if Q is, it might not be enough damage to kill off the Meepo. He's reasonably tanky. Like, he's got a reasonable amount of armor, so might not even kill him from full that way. So, yeah, things have to align perfectly for Meepo to die again in the arena. It's happened once, right? The stars align quite frequently in Dota, so it could very well happen again.
The one thing about this Meepo, before he gets Dig and Mega Meepo, he doesn't actually have any save for himself. In a way, this Diffusal early on kind of makes him an easy target. Yoei with some fancy footwork there, able to just snag the multi-rune and get out. Quick fingers there, but it's still caught in the middle of the arena, able to jaunt away. Throwing the Sharpshooter onto him, but not enough damage to finish him off. Sharpshooter gonna go wide.
Overall, good for Darling. If they don't lose anyone there, that's very valuable. Now, once again, we've got a little bit of a window with Arena down. And with the Blink Dagger on Meepo, with the Diffusal, and the Shivas, might want to start going here, making some sort of move on Darling, which has been severely lacking recently.
Yeah, everything's lining up for them now. All their little crucial items and spells. With Drake just grabbing that Blink Dagger, you can fully expect both Yoei and him to start making a move. Even without it though, they want to settle onto Bosco, finally trying to address this Timbersaw. Where's the Bushwhack? Not in time. Q waits it out a bit too long and ends up missing that opportunity. A little bit of a slip up. Meanwhile, mid lane, with the help of Ollie, 23 will stay alive to that aggressive move. They actually committed both the finger as well as the coil here. But 23, more than enough stats. They're straight into the Meepo though. Palos in some trouble. Armel doing quite a significant amount of damage, but Jabs just smacks them down with a rebuke. Q able to answer right back, but with the Lotus and the Shivas, I don't think there's enough damage in the tank to deal with them. Ollie, use that borrowed time in the mid lane to help out 23. Look at Yoei, he's just being so annoying. Dancing around them, playing with the blinks. He knows there's no direct control. Eclipse forced out from 23 on the front lines as Bosco and Drake just fully retreat. Yoei's been able to snipe out Ollie. Just being so annoying. Somewhere, somehow, the snipers died. We must have missed it along the way. But overall, these are the moves that Darling need to make sure they lose the Meepo alongside one of their supports, but it's not too bad.
Absolutely. That was a huge kill on Sniper, right? He is not the highest net worth by quite a long shot, right? That belongs to Cuckoo. He is very much in front. And dying there is going to slow his game down a little bit. Obviously, Puck is the lower, but we kind of expected that with the Witchblade now, though. Puck's ready, right? He's got the levels. He's got the Witchblade.
Net worth literally doesn't matter because do you see the way that Yoei is playing? He's just dancing around them fully free, sniping people off on the backline, and there's nothing much that Armel and the gang can do about it. They start Dream calling up onto him as well. Immediately, Ollie's there to try for the save, but they don't really coordinate the break in time. They've just killed off Drake though. Taking out that Lion, there aren't going to be any additional disables as the entire side of Aurora comes through. Nice arena from Jabs just to catch him, and the Sharpshooter break as well. Well, the reactive armor isn't going to do a thing. So keep the Luna alive.
Darling are struggling. They keep making these forced engagements, but you're missing your Meepo. And at this point, I feel like Palos, he's not feeling comfortable enough to fight without that Mega Meepo. So your timing with the Diffusal Blink Dagger has completely been missed.
This is one of the fears of the Meepo. When you reach these initial timings, if you're not strong enough to stand up against the magic damage your opponents can put out, you might just be giving over one too many kills. I mean, even with the commitment on the sniper there, he's starting to get tanky in his own right? The Mage Slayer and the Dragon Lance, this pure investment into stats has paid off.
Absolutely, and he's got that shard as well, which is just going to increase his survivability a little bit more. A lot a bit more, I dare say.
Yeah, he can just bounce right out of there, bounce right out of trouble. Now they're gearing up for this push on the tier 2. Good wave clear. Tools on Darleng's side, but none of them in the vicinity to deal with this. The push is going to come a little slower. But yeah, it seems like Darleng, they want no part of this. Or at least not yet.
Now Sneeze, without looking, I'm going to play a little game with you.
Let's hear it.
Mars has a Mithril Hammer, so without looking... Okay,
Mills.
hold that thought, actually.
Yeah, Hoodwayne just gonna get Finger of Death down, but they get the response back onto Drake. 23 has the backup of Ollie in the area, but Jabs finds another, killing off Jotun yet again. Like you keep mentioning, these positions for the Bat Rider where he's dying, they're not the worst, but you're 0 and 6 right now, and you've yet to even make your way towards the Solar Crest. It's not really a great showing.
Yeah, you get a deep board out, you get the ward, or you don't even get the ward, you don't even get a deep board out, actually.
Nope.
That was a really weird play.
It kind of seemed like he was just trying to cut some creep waves and maybe mess around with them, farm the innards of their jungle. But yeah, you were playing a game. What am I looking at for Mars?
Sure. Not looking specifically.
I'm not looking.
Mars has a Mithril Hammer. Is it BKB or Deso? What do you think? What would be better for you?
Knowing Jabs, it's Maelstrom against the Meepo.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, he has items flying out to him right now. I'd be hard-pressed to think that it's... I was going to say, if it's not the BKB, it'll be hilarious. But yeah, of course.
It's not. It's the Deso.
Of course. It's Jabs. I mean, he's getting some kills. He's feeling good about himself. The scoreline, pretty nice for him this game as well. 7-0 and 2, having a phenomenal one.
I actually think the Deso's the right play, because it opens up early Roshan.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they'll hop into right now. Aurora, sensing that this is their opening. Of course, there's the early Luna timing that you still want to hit. 23, it's been a bit of an up and down game for him so far, getting picked off here and there, but he's gotten the crucial items. Now gonna get that Aegis and gonna feel a lot more comfortable about breaching into the high ground.
Darling, they do know this is happening, but clearly they do not care. Right? This shouldn't be a high ground push from Aurora. It should just be kind of like a very slow and casual first Aegis, mop up the tier 2 towers, create space around the map, get space, shrink the space. All about space, really, this first Aegis, right? Shrink the space on the map that Darleng can farm, accumulate net worth on all of your cores, wait until that second Aegis, and then push the high ground.
Cuckoo with the setup. Nice God's Rebuke to stop that Timber Chain from coming out, and with the Sharpshooter, this poor Timbersaw is dead. Atos just for good measure, and Jabs is on a monster kill streak. I was just about to say, I'm not really sure whether the side of Darleng will want to defend these pushes, but without their Timbersaw for 35, this tier 2 tower is forfeit.
Yeah, without Timber, they're definitely not doing anything. Now, Meepo has finished that Aghanim Scepter, so a lot more survivability on Palos, but still, are you ready yet without that Disperser now?
Yeah, I mean, speaking of survivability, Eternal Shroud would have helped that Timber a lot, finally finishing that. So, for the side of Darleng, it kind of feels like they just need to tank up to the point where they can't be threatened by this Luna, by this Sniper, and that's where they want to take the fight. The early run at you, it's completely collapsed. That's not happening anymore.
And now it's all about 23, right? The whole game revolves around 23 right now.
Oh, really? The hard carry? That's someone told me before that's boring.
It's boring. It is boring. It is boring, Dota. What can you say? I agree with you.
I wouldn't say so. I think this game has been pretty clean so far. The fact that how Aurora have been bringing numbers to protect their carries, I wish some of my pub teammates would learn from this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And this is the discipline that has really set Aurora apart. You talked about it already. Always being very, very aware of their timings. Got a bit derailed in that game number 1 and might be derailed here if Drake is able to blink in the middle of them and get the mana drain, but no! Jabs just completely obliterates him. You call on the backline, but you can't find a thing. Palos, he's trying to commit, but 23 still has that second life, just baiting away. There's Jabs again. Another arena finding Yowei, eating the Hex to the face though, and another little stun. Drake, he's brought back into this fight, and they've taken down Jabs. The godlike streak over. Jotun coming in a little bit too late with that lasso as Ollie. Another beautiful aphotic shield puts a stop to it. Drake, he's just just lining these up over and over. It'll connect onto a kill, not only on the Luna's first life, but the Abaddon as well. Without their supporting cast, can they still stand? The sniper has gone down, and it looks like Darling, they're able to defend. The shot from the Luna, they need to watch that damage though. It's cutting through the last people of the Paralos. You just need to finish him off. One Lucent Beam is all it takes. Q trying to find that Acorn, but gets smacked down by Yoe. Now they can just dance around 23 and kite him to absolute death. That Lucent Beam doesn't work when he's magic immune. The nets, they're just playing around with this sad Luna. No more allies to work with. The blink up to the high ground, Yoe. Oh no, he's gonna get sliced apart. Palos. Oh, getting the Palos too. Okay, no way. No way. No, so close. So close. God. I mean, even if Palos died there, surely Jotun finishes the job. But a huge mess of a fight. And at the end of the day, Darling hold this timing.
Yeah, and that all comes down to Drick, not just his buyback, but the amount of two-man stuns he hit.
Yeah,
that was
crazy.
Absolutely insane. You go down there in the end, unfortunately, a dieback, but you did your work that fight for sure.
Dude, the entire fight, so much damage done by 23. I think our observer pointed out as well, Scriff. He's just like, I think he was amazed. He paused on that for a little bit. He's like, close to 10k damage. That's what in the... Yeah. That's more than half the damage of the team. And I mean, for credit where credit is due, a lot of it is thanks to Darling just kind of running into the shards with the glaives running around. So getting cut through here, they'll be a lot more aware of that. But we're seeing the problem with the sniper. No matter how far ahead you are, the second they turn and look at you, you just kind of get blown up.
And Armel, he's got to play a lot more conservative now. He got blown up by Palos, and you just got to be more careful, right? You were kind of standing in a weird position in the trees, but if you're in the trees, you've got nowhere to go, right? You have nowhere to run at that point. And Meepo just kind of cut him down.
It kind of feels like he didn't really expect the damage. It looked like he was safe, even to me, and then suddenly he disappears. I'm like, oh, there's a sniper. Ollie.
And that's the problem, like, with these blink daggers on Darling. Sniper is not safe.
Yeah, it's another game where Ollie's like working overtime just to try and keep his Aurora cause alive. You're putting him in such a rough spot, but he's more than delivered. Armel, again, in this mid lane, you can't afford for the sniper to go down, but so much burst, and jabs, he'll come through, blink away. They can get the chase. Beautiful net, forcing the arena out. They actually buy back onto Armel. They know they need to take this fight, but Ollie doesn't have the borrowed time. He used that for the Tormentor, and now Q, he's in a little bit of trouble. Has to use the Sharpshooter to try and run through the tree line. Ollie will give him a stray, parting miscoil there as Drake standing his ground. 23. He needs to deliver big time in this fight. Armel still being able to escape, turns around, get the snipe down onto the park, and it looks like Darling, they've overcommitted for this move. The buyback from Armel pays off big time. They're able to kill Bosku as well. Still see him, that Shivas, the Acorn, maintaining the vision, the assassinate. TP not in time. Armel with a triple. Again, it feels like it cost Aurora, but this time round, Darling, they make a crucial misstep.
1,000 gold for Sniper, making that buyback very well worth it.
This time it's him who does a butt ton of damage, laying down all those shrapnels that you have to run through. That initial commitment is really clean from Darling, but it felt like when they started chasing onto jabs as well, that's where things got a little bit messy. 23, untouched that fight, able to just do his work.
Now, to be fair, I said it last game, I'm going to say it again. With this buyback on the core like Sniper, you have a little bit of a window if you kill him, but this game, who's pushing high ground? Meepo isn't the fastest high ground taker. Sure, it's reasonable, but it's not compared to a Troll Warlord or a Luna.
Dude, if you walk up to high ground on Meepo, the sniper is gonna do the thing where he right-clicks you, and you have to either A, jump in and commit for him, or B, get the hell out of there. That's not a feasible...
The only way they're going high ground is if Sniper's on dieback.
Yeah.
Right? That is the only window they have, right? And you still have to be careful of Luna Hoodwink Mars at that point. Like, it is such a hard high ground. You don't have a low committal hero to push that high ground.
Counterpoint, they only go high ground if Abaddon dies as well, right? Ollie, he's been such a key factor in making sure these fights go the way that they have. Very unsung hero for the team, and even in the cases where it hasn't really worked out, it could have been way more disastrous if Ollie wasn't in the position that he was at. So, eyes on this Abaddon here. You're looking at Drake for some of the early rotations, and he did manage to connect with Yoe, but very much easy pickings for the residual magic damage, and Glaives just bouncing around. Speaking of Drake, forced to blink away. He smells danger. Gets right out there. Bosco able to Timber Chain out as well. Now Roche might respawn in just 50 seconds here, which is maybe why we see Aurora aggressively sweep up to this area, wanting to establish some vision. But they won't find a thing for now.
What does danger smell like to you, Sneeze? What's the Aurora danger? What's the aroma of the Aurora danger?
It don't smell good, I'll be honest.
No.
You can probably smell it coming from a mile away. I mean, the fact is that if the sniper and the Luna are missing from the map and they're farming in these areas, or at least not farming in the areas that you have such deep vision on, by the way. They have the full vision in the dire sort of safe lane-ish mid jungle area, and they have vision of the lane. You don't see anyone there, you know they're up to no good.
Connects Armel is not here.
Dude, Armel is playing so far back and you kind of have to. Wait, coming forward, the instant stun! They evaporate him and he doesn't stand a chance. 23 is just gonna stand his ground as Palos tries the lanes on the Luna, but this is where you're the most dangerous. How dare you step into my territory? The walls of the arena sentence you to your death. As Aurora obliterate their opponents here, you Mega Meeple out, but Palos, he has to disperse and run. Where's the chase down? Jams is right there to meet him and won't let Palos go unscathed. Bosku desperately trying to do whatever he can, but this game, this fight, Mel and 23 are untouched, and they obliterate their opponents there. Yowei desperately trying to jot away, but you know Jams is hungry. He'll be looking for a spear. Juked out. Yowei smells the Aurora danger coming. I couldn't tell you what it smells like because I have a perpetual blocked nose, but even by smelling it, they don't dodge it. It was a perfectly executed fight. 23 read them like a damn book and 12.5k damage this time around. Jeez.
Once again, it just felt like a forced engagement. Obviously, Roshan's coming up, so you kind of feel like you have to.
Yeah.
But, Darling, they weren't all in a position, right? Drick blinks forward very aggressively. And this is the second or third time in a fight he's getting Deso down by jabs, just destroyed immediately.
We meme about jabs, and maybe I meme about jabs a bit too much, but this Deso has definitely proved to be the ideal pickup. It's melting these low HP supports and not allowing Drick to stand a chance. He's feeling comfortable because he's sitting there mana draining. You know, he doesn't have a plate mail, but he's still, you can get the intention. He's getting, you know, T-Panda calls him Pickle Drake. He's being smushed like a pickle, that's for sure.
He's definitely in a pickle for sure.
Yeah, he's every time Jabs look at him, instantly evaporates into a pickle-like vegetable object. Drake,
and it's not gonna get easier too. Luna has a Daedalus. That's so much damage through your magic immunity.
Yeah, he's gonna cut down through that health bar. 23. Almost looked like he precast that, and now moon glaives are gonna come out from your Lucent Beam. You think you're magic immune, you're still gonna get sliced down.
Yeah.
It's such a tricky situation. 5k gold lead now as the Roshan is up. And this is the next objective that it feels like Darling have to contest for. Second Roche on the Luna will be a bit too much for them to handle, it feels like, on that high ground. As long as Aurora play this discipline. Just need to hang on to Armel, make sure he has a good position.
Jabs. You got to get rid of this Mars somehow. You got to deal with him.
How? I mean,
I don't know.
He's been insane this game. I mean, only really dying like a couple of times so far. Oh, look at him. He's a pump faker. He's like, you want to come in here? You trying to ask for death? 12, 2, and 5. Looking monstrous, and they'll just head straight into this Roche. Seeing the rest of the Palos Meeple clones commit for top tier 2. In comes Yowei though. Giving his team some vision, but just some nice AWP plays coming around again. Here comes Bosku. Uh-oh. Things are gonna start to get hairy. 23. Holding. Standing his ground, and he needs to grab that Aegis Force to pop the BKB, and he'll be able to snatch it. The mask straight onto Drake again, and Armel evaporates him. Palos, he's turned into this Mega Meeple, but there's nowhere to go. Held up by the Gleipnir from Q, and you're trying to burrow, trying to dig out of here. Bosku comes in to just distract them. Hello, look at me, I'm a streamer. They don't care. They'll just shoot you down. Lucent Beam melts that Timber Sword down to size. And the last touches Armel with a double jabs, lines them all up. That arena wasn't anything flashy, but it does the job. Drake, the one factor that's been helping them so far in this game number 2, consistently answered, addressed, and put down. And the rest of the squad, they just can't find an opening in these fights.
Darling, it might be back to the drawing board now. You're dealt with,
dude.
Right? The puck was such a power pick for them.
Yeah.
But Armel Sniper reigned supreme.
you're kind of relying so much on Jotun as well as Palos to get in there and threaten the sniper, but the reality is, like we mentioned, you're kind of hoping that the rest of Aurora don't exist and you don't have to run through them. That's exactly what you're dealing with. We haven't really felt the presence from this Bat Rider this entire game, in stark contrast to some of his other performances.
Yeah, you know, I said at the beginning of the series my eyes would be on this Bat Rider, and got a lot of eyes on the Bat Rider this game, and it's been mostly Aurora's eyes.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of eyes on him because we keep panning to him when he's dying. 110 and 6 right now. And contrary to his previous performance where he would get something done, you know, you're losing a bit of efficiency by killing him off. Q and Jabs are just like, yo, this is sweet, man. We get free gold every 2 minutes. More Deso charges. Oh, look, Hoodwink has a Gleipnir. Q is so farmed.
And we've got that Mage Slayer there as well, right? This is the build for Q.
Yeah. The early Atos just really tripping the side of Darling up as well. Now they are in a troublesome position. It might not all be Drake, but it's a pickle for sure. Forced to use up. Setup is still there. Sharpshooter holding it in place with the loser. Is Cuckoo just gonna die?
Yeah.
23, it's a nice little meta to try and dodge that Earth Spike. But right now, Q's the one in trouble. They finish off Abaddon and the supporting cast of Aurora goes down. Buyback onto Cuckoo. Do you still want to take this fight? Amel forced to pop the BKB. Still dismantled by the physical. 23 standing his ground. Gonna lose that first life as Palos and Cuckoo off of that Timbersaw buyback. They might be in trouble now, but that's the Eclipse. The big bad Luna will just TP out of here and escape. Jabs has the TP, but actually loses his mana on the spear. That might have been a mistake. Gonna try now. The lingering duration will get him out of there. Nicely done to preserve themselves. That's kind of an opening for Darling now.
Yeah, that was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful coil from Yahweh. And this is why he's such a good puck, right? Despite having a bad game, or just bad lane even, you can still find ways, if you're a good enough puck, to secure the game for your team.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of in the name of Yahweh's entire game. Sometimes the rough matchups, first pick your mid, tough laning stage, doesn't matter. He has been consistently finding these creative ways to really keep his team back in it. Even in moments where his opposition is just fully focusing heroes like Drake, who have been amazing so far. It does cost them Cuckoo's buyback though, and that might be something they need to watch out a bit more closely. Cuckoo's been playing relatively carefree in this game so far.
Yeah, without Cuckoo, that is not just a lot of your damage, but a lot of your fight presence, right? Cuckoo is definitely the hero that, like you said during one of the last fights, it's, hey there, look at me, you know, pay attention to me as much as you can. My Meepo is, he's invisible, you can't see him, right? He's smoked up, he's in the back lines, I'm on the front lines, pay attention to me.
Wait, Palos, who is that guy? Like, whoa,
yeah,
wait, where did he come from? Oh my
him,
goodness, hey, yo, we're not together, yo, chill out. What the
Yeah.
Starting to see the problem where they can't really focus the Luna and the Sniper at the same time, but in the case whereby Amel just gets destroyed right next to the Luna, you don't really have that same problem. Aurora still feels strong though, the setup is there, and beautiful Hex, that's the reveal from Jabs. He's gonna get an easy pick off onto Drake again. No Lion for 52. You can't really blame him because that's the first time that item was revealed. Jabs was holding on to the gold for a hot minute. Straight onto your high ground, this is where the Luna is the most dangerous.
And the racks, they're just gonna melt.
Yeah, they don't stand
And Luna
chance.
just doing Luna things.
Once again, Bosku can do nothing but present himself as a juicy target, but there's something juicy on 23. He's not gonna get distracted. Now, Jabs does have a has a habit of committing for kills where he doesn't really have to. Hopefully that's not the case as Palos jumps the backline again, is found on Mel, forcing the BKB out, but that's what Ollie's there for. Keeping his sniper safe again, and it's a beautiful Hoodwink bushwhack that just grabs all the meeples to that tree. Bayonet them all to death. One little assassinate as well. Yowei trying his best with a beautiful coil. Jotun looking for an opening, but he runs straight into 23. That's not the target that he wants. Forced to just blink away, but Jabs has found him, and Jabs has him killed.
Oh, Jotun, this just didn't hit this game, and I think now you're looking for a more traditional safe laner.
Like the
Right.
Venom Mentor smile. That's what else he's been playing.
Okay, hold on a minute. Maybe not.
Okay.
No, like something like maybe a Techies.
Dude,
Right?
Aurora.
Something that can protect your heroes.
They want to end the game right now. They've even bought back on Ollie. Bosku coming in, trying to catch them off guard with the Blade Mail, and they might just have done the trick. 23, he's dropping low and ends up going down. Not really expecting that, but Aurora, they pull the trigger on the buybacks. This could create a very big opening if Darling unable to respond. It's a 5v2 situation. 30 seconds without parallels. They want to secure the Mega Creeps. And nothing will stop them from doing so. Yowie will try. Bosku, that surprise Blade Mail pickup actually just kind of ruined 23 a little bit here, but now on this high ground, do you choose to try and end the game? Looks like it. Aurora, they want to push this to a game number 3. They want to even the score. And it looks like they'll be able to do so. One glyph available for the side of Darling. They'll be forced to pop it. Oh, the instant hex. Yowie, he just gets melted. 95 seconds without your park. And even with the Meepo coming up, I don't know whether you stand a chance because of Avernus allowing this Luna to just go completely brazy mode. And this Ancient is down 1-1 when the best of 3 crash.
Yeah, this Aurora lineup has been looking absolutely crazy.